My name is Jewel Sisk. Just got married, so it would be Jewel Page in a few. And I've been here probably 6 years this March. So I think that entered into our 6th year. I've been here since 2018. I'm still at Cincinnati Children's Hospital Drug and Poison Information Center. I've been an admin for probably about 23 plus years, and now I'm a coordinator, program coordinator for the last year and a half. So I have one son. His name is Khalil Adams, and he is 22 now, and he's out living on his own, or living with his auntie right now. When I was building the house, Khalil was 14. He did see me participate, and I think I have a picture book that they gave us, and he got to see all that good stuff and was super excited that he had a room to come back to on his own. Only my home for Khalil probably gave him a sense of stability for sure. I believe we were pretty good in the other places that we lived, but he knew that that was his room. He can do stuff to it. He could paint. He could bring in other things. Beforehand it's like, restrictions. Oh, don't put this on the wall. Oh, we can't leave this. We can't put nail prints in the wall, stuff like that. So he knew, oh, I can put a poster up. Oh, I can, so it was like, it's ours. So it's ours to keep up, it's ours to fix, it's ours to mess up. So he got that concept, if nothing else. And how important it was to keep those things up. So he gave him a sense of, responsibility. Like, hey, this is not just a house that I can mess up and somebody else is going to come clean or fix up. I have to keep it up. If things happen with the plumbing, I know my mom has to get it done. So I think it gave him a sense of awareness, if anything, on the importance of taking care of things, taking care of a house, taking care of his rooms, all of that good stuff. So he benefited in that proportion. The most rewarding, the first thing that comes to mind is having my own porch to sit out on. Like, that was one of the biggest things for me, is having a porch. But just being a part of home ownership and learning more about retail, real estate, things of that nature. Owning a home makes me want to be a part of the community more. So I actually start going to the council meets for Lockland. So I was getting to know Wyoming when I was there. So when I moved over to Lockland, it was pretty simple and easy to start getting to know Lockland as well, and what they bring to the community and how I could be of service, to the community. And I did that by just participating in a lot of Habitat events that were done around here, because I know they did a couple Rock the Blocks I was a part of. They did a couple other events that I was a part of. And then meeting the family of neighbors that are also Habitat is great, because you kind of like come in knowing your neighbors already, because you've been in classes with them, you've been in partner family groups with them. So it's wonderful. It's like it's cohesive, and it all works well. For me anyway, I loved it. I enjoyed being a homeowner for sure. I just go to those council meets and whatnot. Me and Robin down the street tried to petition for this train to stop blowing the horn like Evendale does. We have 2 active tracks right here that go by. So the process is, you can petition to have the horn stop blowing after 10 o'clock at night. And then I think at about 8 or 6 to 8, it'll start back up blowing in the morning. So we were just figuring, nighttime, that'll be good. We can, the train by itself, when it rolls past, it's not that bad. The process for that was to get enough people that would agree to that, and we had to get Lockland community on board, Lachlan's council member on board, Wyoming's council member on board, Wyoming's community on board, because it partners with both of them. Because you're a homeowner, I think it gives us more stake in things that come around, or more interest in how the community is developing, because you have an interest in it now. So I've known of Lachlan, but it was my first time living in Lachlan, so, which was cool. And I've gotten to know the various communities. I think one of the projects that we were working on, the community projects that they were working on, is the like revitalization of Lachlan. So how it will look, different templates and stuff like that. And I partook in that, and I met the new mayor of Lincoln Heights. And she says, you a part of Habitat? I was like, yeah, I have a Habitat house. She said, I love the one on the corner by the train tracks. And I was like, do you do? The porch is awesome. I was like, it is? And she's like, yes. And I was like, well, that's my house. I like to host and, you know, be the guide, if that makes sense, you know, to have people over. I like to welcome people. I like to make them feel comfortable. Folks always say that, like, hey, it feels warm and cozy in here. Like, I don't want to go. Like, okay, good. I did good. I like to be pretty active. My job keeps me in the community doing stuff now. Program coordinator. Like this Saturday, I have an event to do in Liberty. We just did an event in Avondale. So those type of events keep me out and moving and things to do. Personally, books, movies, I like audiobooks now to keep up with, but arts and crafts, as you can see, like I'll create those every year. I'll redo decorating like twice a year. I redo the porch twice a year. So I like to do decor, things of that nature. Favorite room or area? So far, it would be the first floor. That's because this is the floor that I renovated. This is the floor that I actually took time and did some decor with. So I think the first year or two I was here, I hadn't done anything. I was just like, I was okay. I was like, oh, I'm good. And then I started visiting my neighbors. And they were like, look at what I've done. Oh, look at this. Oh, I painted this. And then I went up the street, was like, oh, I got a backsplash done in my kitchen. And I was like, you got to do something. It's time to make it your own then. And so I think I was inspired by my neighbors to renovate, and I did the first floor with some painting. And it's not really renovating, but just painting, you know. I think everything that they put in is here. Only thing is different is I think this fan, same light fixture there, and then the cabinets are the same. I just painted them. It's interesting to see how Habitat evolves in the building process since I've acquired a house, for sure. After everything was moved in and I was here, I believe about 2 months into being here, I was still getting that giddy feeling coming downstairs, coming through the living room, going to the kitchen to get my lunch and everything, and then heading out to work, and it was like, this is yours. Oh wow. So I'm still elated today, but even then it's still a joyous feeling to just say, wow, I'm a homeowner, you know. And I think from that was a big deal because my grandma was the only person that I known that had owned a home. My mom had did a rent to own on a home but never acquired the house. So that was like the closest that I have ever known in my immediate family. So it was like a good thing. I think I got the house right before my grandma passed away. So that was a good thing. It was like she was able to see it. I don't think I was in it, but she was able to see it being built and everything. And give me her accolades, and she was proud and all that. So I was like, cool. During a pandemic, it was great to know that I had a home to come home to, but I did not have an office space. So I had to create that, and that's what my dining room is. It's kind of the makeshift office. But it was great to know that I had that. I've been here at this house for 6 years. And I want to say before that, I probably moved about 4 or 5 times before this house, including from the time I was with my mom to the time I was on my own. I've moved about that many times, not counting the amount of times she's moved when we were, little and young. And so when I was in Wyoming, I made my vision board say, from here you're going to a house, and you want to have ownership. So that was the goal from there. If nothing else, I would say get to know your neighbors, stay a part of your partner family group, because just like you were learning before you got a house, you'll still be learning after you acquire a house. And it's good to have people to reach out to when things happen or things come about. Believe it or not, I call all the neighbors that I had numbers to kind of like our own little directory. You never know, like something that happens in your house, somebody may have already dealt with that, and they can kind of help you go about it the best way, because we are new to handling it ourselves and pretty much used to coming from where a landlord or somebody else takes care of it. It can be kind of like, I guess, overwhelming at first, but as you go, if you got people to help you, it makes it a little bit easier. And I think the Habitat representation also helps. We have these different people that we can also feel like we can call it Habitat that'll help as well. Get to know your community, get to know the location that you're in. I think that helps for just a sense of not only what the community can do for you, but what you can do for the community, if anything. So I think those are 2 things I would suggest for new homeowners, for sure.